Hi everyone, so this is like the corner that time forgot. It's the bit you don't normally see. This is my cutting area. This whole long bit's about 2 meters long that goes into here. So I used to have my printer here, and I used to have one of these boxes on the bookcase that you normally see behind me, and that had my PDF patterns in, but it became not enough space for my PDF patterns. Let me just angle that around a little bit. So I very much prefer like what I would call old-fashioned paper patterns in an envelope. However, I do think that PDF patterns give you such a better range, because obviously if your shape changes, you go up or down, you can reprint. If, as in the case of me, you've kind of hacked something to bits, then you might need another copy of it. I've ordered copies of certain things for myself and an extra one for my daughter, because if I'm making something for her, it would be in a different size and I just can't be bothered with tracing. So the long and the short of it is, it's January, isn't it? So I've decided to have a pattern sort out. So if you're new to my channel, I usually drop my Friday sews on a Friday, but occasionally I do these extra videos. So I'm Alison, and this is Sew Like Dotty, and this is Let's Have a Bit of a January Sort Out. So I've had these pattern envelopes for a long time. I buy them in boxes of 100 from Amazon, so I've just reordered my second 100. So that doesn't mean that I've got 100 patterns, although when I started doing this, it did make me realise how many I've actually got. So typically they're a gatefold envelope. I can't remember how much they are, maybe about 20 something pound for 100. We do use them to post off other things to people as well, but they kind of end up like, depending on where I've stored them, some have the title on here, some have it on this side, some have it written across here with like little instructions on, like cut 2 inches shorter and things like that. So I know the light isn't great because I'm in my little corner. See if I can angle this light around. That's better. So I just decided that I want to tidy these up. Now I only keep my pattern pieces in here. I do keep all of my instruction booklets, because I do like a printed out instruction booklet, and I keep them separately in a drawer for 2 reasons. One, when I'm sharing with you on YouTube, it's much quicker for me to find a pattern and hold it up to camera, which helps reduce my editing time for adding pictures in. And also, if I'm just wanting to quickly look at how much fabric I need for something, if I'm out and about, I'll do that in the files on my phone. But if I'm in the house, it's much easier to just pull that pattern booklet out and have a look at those sort of things. So these do only include the pattern pieces, and I was getting them printed out. I usually use flamingo prints, and I was getting them out printed out on this thicker paper like this. But I've recently moved to getting them printed out on, I'm trying to find an example of it because I know I've got one. Bear with me 1 second. So I've literally just received this one today, and this is printed out on what they call tissue paper, I think, but it's not tissue paper like the big 4 tissue paper, but it's much thinner, which means when you're storing it, it takes up less space. So I'll tell you more about what pattern that is in my next Friday sews. Now I'll pop that away. So and obviously that's in the UK. I don't know if Liz ships worldwide, but there's lots of pattern printing companies out there. So I just felt that I needed to do something with this. What I've done is I have labels at home, and you can easily get different sizes of labels and just use Word to work out how to print them out. But for one of the jobs that I do, I use sheets of 18 labels, like 3x6. So I already had these in the house, I didn't need to order them. And I've gone through the main pattern companies that I use that I've got on these, and then I'm going to have like an assorted bunch. So I've basically kind of colour coded them and printed them out like this. So this is the sew over it one, so you can see it's a full sheet with sew over it, and then in just black marker I've put in, I don't know if these will be the right way around or not, the different patterns, and I've stuck one on. So they're all going to go in this corner, And what I'm going to try to do is keep all the Sew Over It patterns together, all the Fibre Move patterns together, Friday Pattern Company ones together. So what I'll do is label up these boxes to say which ones are in where. So I've got Tilly and the Buttons. So you can see they're all done in different colours. Friday Pattern Company is the fullest one that I've got. And then Fibre Mood, which will be grown because I get my, not free patterns, but I subscribe to that. So they're the Fibre Mood ones that I've got printed off so far. Style Arc. And then I'm just going to keep the blank stickers in the drawer behind me, and I've got them all saved if I need to print off any more. Dressmaker's Closet, and what I call the Sewing Bee, because I've got the Sewing Bee Modern Wardrobe book. Now I can't remember which ones I've got printed off. I need to dive into that, because this is the land that time forgot, but this is the area that's just gone and forgotten and neglected in this corner behind the teddy bear where I've got these. It actually does say on there Sewing Bee patterns, and I've got other things in there like maybe a dog jumper or I don't know, dog bandanas. I don't know. I'm going to go in and explore and find out. So my goal is to get this sorted out. So I was just kind of thinking, what do you do about storing your patterns? How do you organise them so you can find them easily? Because for me, I've been pulling the box out, flicking through, and I might go, oh, so we're all set, but then I've got my 2-back hack, but that's not in here. Oh, it must be in there. And then pulling that out, and I did have them underneath at one point, and stooping down and pulling them out wasn't a good thing. These are just cardboard, they won't last forever, but they'll last much better here. So yeah, I just wondered, what are you sorting out? You might be destashing your fabric, you might be just organising your room, you might not be sorting out anything, but I am sort of interested, how do you store your patterns and what do you do? So I'm kind of in the middle of it at the moment, so I'll come back and give you a little update and see how it's gone. So, welcome back. That was a busy hour. I feel very kind of sorted, I've got to say. So I've now got a box here. Sorry, you might look at the back of my head while I do this. I've now got a box here which contains Fibre Mood patterns, Sew Over It, Style Arc, Helen's Closet and Atelier dupe. And then this box here contains Tilly and the Buttons, Friday Pattern Company, Tammy Handmade, Merchant and Mills and Peppermint Magazine. And then this box here contains the Dressmaker's Closet and Sewing Bee. And then this one in the corner is still sort of miscellaneous, where I've maybe only got one thing, but it's going to be one thing that I maybe make now and again. So for example, the Merchant and Mills, I've only got one pattern from them. I've only got one from Helen's Closet, but I'm using those. They're quite current, so I didn't want to kind of pop them into the corner, but everything else is really accessible now. I have sorted some things out. So this is, and it's fairly recent that I sorted my patterns, but I've sorted these out either just because I had duplicates or some things that I know that I'm never going to make anymore. Like when I ordered the not the Elysian bodysuit, the Ilford jacket by Friday Pattern Company, I wasn't sure what size band Carl would need, so I ordered the bigger size band, but I've never needed to use it. So yeah, and yeah, just some duplicate bits really. Sewing Bee Breton top, which I'm not likely to make. I think, well, it is a traditional Breton top, but I really like the Friday Pattern Company Bateau t-shirt. I've got several t-shirts that I like, but a similar style. Sewing Bee shell top, I'm never going to make that. What's that one? A patina blouse that I've got in A4, but I've got it in A0 now and I'm never going to use it. So that's those sorted. And I did recently sort of, isn't that such a pleasant, sorry, I know I'm over here, isn't that just such a pleasant sound, the sound of sorting? So yeah, I will pop a picture in because I do still have some paper patterns, so I either keep the ones that I predominantly use, I've got on a little shelf just here, so I'll pop a picture in of that, just because they're easy for me to reach. They are the ones that I use quite often, or ones that I hack and maybe use sleeves for something and skirts for something, so I keep them very handy. And then I've got some of the ones in the the top drawer just here, so everything's sort of here, and then the pattern instructions are just in a drawer here. So it's quite, I mean, it's quite a small room, but it means that everything's really handy. I did have a massive sort out of kind of big 4 patterns because I just don't use them. There's nothing wrong with them, I'm not being critical of anybody who does, but and lots of the styles, you know, when I see them I think they're nice, but then I think, oh, they're very similar to something I've already got. So I did have, I took a lot into the Sewn on the Tyne sort of de-stash swaps table, and then I've taken some into our Stitch In Tyne social group as well. And when I had the sewing studio, I had a lot in there. I had like a bit of a swaps area going on there. So a lot of those they've gone. So I feel like now what I've got, I'm actually going to use. The ones that are in here are things like the apron. What else have I got in there? True Bias Ogden, which I've not made for a couple of years, but now I'm losing weight, I might make it again. I've got one of those cut for a Naira that I use as a pyjama sort of strappy top for her, and one for me. What else have I got in there? Sinclair Harper cardigan that I recently got but I've not made. The blue vanilla, so that's a shop bought dress that I bought and then traced like around it and created my own pattern. So just odd bits. So I feel very... Now I've done that, I think it might be ready for a cuppa. Work's done for the day, patterns are now sorted at the end of work day. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. So I know this is probably going to go out to you on a Sunday, but I'm recording it earlier than that. But yeah, let me know what you sort out. So far I've done kitchen cupboards, mainly because Naira has loads of seeds and lentils and nuts and all this lovely healthy stuff, which a lot of which I like. But it was in every cupboard since she moved back home, so I've kind of given her some dedicated space, so I'm not bothered what it looks like inside. But it just means when I'm opening cupboards to find like our stuff, like couldn't find the gravy boat on Christmas Day and stuff like that, that I know where our stuff is. So I've done that. And what else have I sorted out? Oh, I sorted out all my advent calendar stuff, like all my beauty stuff as well. I'm sure there was something else, but I can't remember what. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Happy sorting, and I'll see you back on Friday for Friday Sews.